Right, so I got this in my recommendations. What are the greatest dragons in fiction?
Best dragons in fiction. That's what we're going to be talking about today, okay? And understand this. This is a fan-requested video, and this is one of my more committed ones, okay? It started off with just one, and then it was two, and then now it turned into every single video that I make. I am getting absolutely bombarded with videos demanding of a dragon tier list, and I finally relented. I will relent on this one. We're going to be ranking dragons, everything from Smaug to Musu to Toothless to Balerion to Alduin to...
What? Hang on a minute. What the fuck is this AI lizard daddy Balerion? Damn.
Balerion to Alduin to... Bale the Dread? Maybe Barney? I don't know. I think Barney's a dinosaur. I don't even know why that came to my head, but I kind of like... Smaug. Okay, so Smaug, when we're looking at the Lord of the Rings, he's on like the smaller side, okay? He comes in, absolutely takes over the mountain, comes in, steals their lunch money, steals their heart of the mountain, and steals their gold, causing all of the dwarves of the mountain to leave their homeland.
Yeah, that just about covers it.
Just becoming homeless for basically the next couple of decades, going on 100 years, by the way, okay? And Smaug is also, because all dragons kind of have their thing, completely impervious to just about all weapons, aside from a very specific type of arrow coming from a ballista that...
Aside from a normal fucking arrow, according to the book. Stop watching movies, man.
...will pierce its scales. If you really think about it, bro, the amount...
Also not scales, he was basically wearing armor vest made of gems with like one lacking, and that's where he got hit.
Plot armor that it would take for like that Smaug has. And you know what? Here's another question, dude. I think we, as the human race right now, could absolutely decimate every single dragon. Like, come in there, absolutely decimate it, bro. You're a dragon? Well, guess what? We got a raptor. Because I'm hearing this being like, well, it can only be punctured with...
I mean, the question is whether your missiles would be locking onto a dragon. Also, like, dragons in whichever world they exist are kinda magic creatures, so I feel like, you know, there could be some upgrades.
With the metal that comes from the black arrows, and I'm over here like, it's still an arrow, though. Like, it's an arrow. Like, again, it's like one of those things where, like, yeah, bro, like, arrows used to be, like, arrows ruled over combat for a very long time. Now what's ruling over combat? Drones. I just don't see a scenario where Smaug is taking on a drone, but that's not the conversation that we're having. We are talking about Smaug as it comes from everything from design to aura to just how cool he is. And when I'm looking at Smaug, the thing is, dude, Smaug, carried by the performance of Benedict Cumberbatch, absolutely goated voice actor.
Kinda true.
For Smaug, I think he has a relatively cool design that is above just the basic dragon that we're going to be covering in a second.
Bit slim, but sure.
I think he is probably just a good dragon. I think he's a good design. I'm not saying that he's up there. I think there are other ones that are frankly quite a bit better. And I'm going to put him, honestly, in just good.
Okay, I'll be real. Maybe a bit higher, just because he got some nice quotes, but a decent baseline, so I'm not offended.
Musu from Mulan.
Put this shit in F.
Musu is the best name that they came up with. Like, dude, I'm sorry, anybody who knows the language quite a bit more, like, does Musu mean anything, bro? Because I'm just gonna be honest with you, that sounds like the biggest, like, executive was working on...
Might need to check comments later.
Alright, there's a dragon, voiced by Eddie Murphy. Murphy. Fuck it, name him Musu. Like, that's what it feels like, bro. Like, if we don't name Musu, bro, name him General Zhao. Like, that's what it feels like. And, like, the name kind of takes that out for me a little bit. But
For me, it's mostly the size, but okay.
Eddie Murphy put on an amazing performance, bro. Eddie Murphy is funny. He is, dude. Daddy Daycare is a goated movie, dude. Now, not enough people are put into that game. Eddie Murphy and Adam Sandler, they were putting on some banger performances back in the day, bro.
Can we not put them in, like, in one sentence?
Tyler Perry also was putting on some... There was a lot of good comedic movies back in the day. And when I'm looking at Musu, here's the problem, though. Like, I'm ranking them against all of these absolute gigachads, bro. Like, this is really, like, coughing baby versus hydrogen bomb type of conversations here. I'll admit the performance is good, but outside of everything, bro, like, bro, he can't even fly. A cricket outdoes him. I'm putting this honestly. I'm just going to put him in lame. I'm going to put him in lame. I might move him up for something very, very specific, but I'm going to put him in lame for now. Charizard.
Oh, really now? Seriously?
He's iconic. Okay. He's pretty powerful.
Sure,
okay.
Fine.
But, like, this is the problem that I'm having, bro. If I'm taking all of these criteria and I'm putting them together and I'm taking Charizard's being carried by a lot of his, how iconic he is as a character. And I'm gonna be real. Like at the time of making this video, there was just there was an unaliving of a Pokemon collector, which is like, bro, it took that long for one of these to happen. Like, bro, like, have you guys just now started keeping track of these? Like, I feel like
Okay, I'm not sure what that's about.
A lot of his notoriety, but at the same time, dude, I feel like Charizard's kind of soft locked at like a decent. Frankly, I think he is.
I mean, frankly, should he even count as like a dragon because he's a Pokemon technically? You know what I mean?
I think Charizard has to be soft locked at a decent. I might have to.
Not that I don't appreciate Deadbot Dragon, but
rearrange these tiers later on in the video, so keep an eye out for that. But I'm gonna keep Charizard at that decent to keep everything like normal. The Bone Dragon from Dragon Hunters, bro. Dude, I'm about to put you on to some game in a second, dude. There was this movie called Dragon Hunters that came out in 2008. And it was about weird, kind of like Dark Souls-y type of... And I say Dark Souls-y because there was just a lot of stuff that just felt weird in this movie. And the movie feels like a fever dream, okay?
I might need to check it out.
The final dragon of this movie is a dragon made out of pure bone that had the ability to not only breathe fire, it is about the size of a castle, and it has this ability that it can pull in things, and like it has like a tractor beam that it can do. Another ability that it has that is so dope but so scary in a kids movie that if you see it, you automatically get your brain, you become insane. You absolutely lose your mind because it is such an eldritch horror that
that sounds helpful.
You actively lose your mind if you leave without taking it out. So it's impossible for you to witness the dragon and walk away and tell other people about it without absolutely sounding insane.
Okay, that's cool.
Is such a cool premise for not just a dragon, but like any type of like supernatural creature.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say there is something like that in D&D. I don't even know, I'm just pretty fucking sure. Also, like, since we are already on a pause, like, why did they make it a fucking crocodile? You know what I mean? Just those jaws. Like, what the fuck is that?
That once you see it, you can never leave it, because by leaving it, your brain will start going insane because you'll start processing the absolute abomination that you witnessed. That's so cool. That's such a cool premise. I'm putting that in great. I can't put it in goated because it is a more niche, but I'm putting it in great. Not
whose niche? Damn, Bros accent is I don't know, it's something. Looks like shit. But the premise is cool. So, sure.
A lot of you guys know about that one, bro.
That can work.
Don't even watch the full movie Dragon Hunters if you can find it. Just watch the final battle of Dragon Hunters. That's such a cool premise for a dragon, though. Drogon from Game of Thrones. Basic.
Okay. Yes.
Basic. Understand this. This is what I mean. This is what I mean. Drogon is such a basic level dragon that, yeah, bro, he's kind of formidable, but he's formidable because he's not really taking on anything that's even somewhat equal to him. And like, oh yeah, well they can take him out with ballistas, brother. That doesn't even have.
Yeah. If only the last season wasn't whatever the fuck it was. uh, no, they can take out Rhaegal with ballistas. Drogon is apparently invisible.
Like the Smaug thing, where like, I bet if you shot an arrow at Drogon, the arrow would be able to puncture it, but it just doesn't go deep because it's essentially like throwing like sharp little pebbles at me. It doesn't do a lot, but I guess it hurts a little bit. And then shooting a whole ballista, a siege weapon at it, of course, is gonna do more damage. It's kind of like, you know what it reminds me of?
If only you actually shoot it.
You hear vampires, like the way to take out a vampire is a stake through the heart, and I'm over here like, brother, that takes out everybody. Everybody gets no dipped by a stake through the heart. What are you talking about, bro? But when I'm looking at Drogon, it's just, I guess it's like decent. Like, it's decent, bro. I might even put it in lame because he's just a reskin of all of his siblings, and he doesn't have that.
Okay, yes, but you know, it's a good skin. Like, it's basic, but things become basic by being, you know, good and copied. You feel me?
Like, he doesn't have that oomph energy, bro.
So, I don't know. I would put him in, like, B or C. So, like, you know, second, third tier, something like that.
Spyro is single-handedly basically saving the entirety of his dragon kind throughout those games, absolutely carrying the PS2 for a little bit.
Okay.
And he has the ability to... Brother, let me go through his feats, okay?
Yes, please.
Basically the entirety of his dragon civilization from being crystallized. Takes on multiple entities that are above his own power level.
Okay.
Carries the PlayStation 2 for a little bit. On top of all of that is the first Skylander. The first Skylander, bro.
Oh, what the fuck does that even mean?
I stand on that, bro. I'm putting Spyro in good. Because he has reached OG status.
Can I be real? I mean, okay, we don't count that fucking Mulan shit. I can live with this, if only because he's the first four-legged dragon on this list. Well, maybe except the fucking crocodile thing, but... Oh, actually no, wait, Charizard as well. Huh. Was that always a thing? I always thought he was like, you know, a wyvern type. Oh well, never mind.
G status gets you put in good because
I am not very much into Pokemon.
Iconic. Yes, I relent. Is he the most powerful? Bro, I'm gonna be real.
I mean, I was like, over 20 years ago. So, yeah.
Most powerful? He's doing some crazy stuff. Brother, he was hitting a Dark Souls roll for a little bit. I'm putting him in good. I think that's a fair placement. And Celegon the Black. So
okay.
Smaug is one of the...
Bro didn't know where to go, so he went to Silmarillion. What the fuck?
Dragons within the lore of Lord of the Rings, and Celegon, the strongest and mightiest of all of the dragons to ever exist, is so big that he used the mountain that... But I know it's not the same mountain. He used the mountain as a stepstone to Aura Farm. And Celegon the Black is so massive of a dragon that I don't even know how you deal with that. You literally had to use a rock. I like my Lord of the Rings deep lore is pretty messed up. There's gonna be some corrections in the comment section. Admittedly, I'm kind of rusty on this one, bro.
Okay.
He's so big that he's above kaiju level, and we're just going into like pure Lovecraftian level of size.
So the size, I believe, is described that when Barrow got killed, he fell over like 3 mountains. That, however, doesn't fix the fact that he got killed by some fucking elf with, I assume, a bow. Okay, I collected some else here too. First off, he broke 3 mountain peaks by falling on them when he died. Second off, he got killed by a half-elf dude. And about method, more on that in like a minute. That I'm not sure about, my own knowledge is limited. But anyway, like, at that size, being killed by honestly basically anything immediately reduces your aura to 0. You know what I mean?
Like, brother, we're talking about like literal godstones that could frex or continents had to be used in taking him out. Like, most powerful things ever.
Okay, I don't remember seeing, hearing, whatever, anything about that, so I'll put that under questionable and I will consult the comments in the end. So I did consult the comments, also Wikipalantir, Reddit, Google, like, I actually looked it up, okay? The closest I found to whatever fucking rocks from God he just mentioned is a theory, or more like speculation, I suppose, that those 3 peaks on Calagon broke when he died were actually like kinda activated as volcanoes or something and shot rocks up, and that is actually what killed him. But again, it's not what the book says, it's kind of a speculation. The book just says Randall overthrew him. That's it. So I don't know which hole he pulled that out of, but yeah.
Had to be used in taking him out. And Calagon, based off that, you just have to put him in goated. You have to put him in goated, dude. King
Okay,
Ghidorah.
sure.
King Ghidorah is a 3-headed dragon that ran.
But like, still, I maintain that even if whatever he said was right, like at that size, it still kinda sounds like he died like a bitch, you know?
Ran the ones, the twos, and the 3 heads up on Godzilla, okay? He has the ability to shoot out lightning, and he's technically a space alien. Not technically, he literally is a space alien. And here's the thing, bro. Like, you have to put him up there because there's another dragon on here that is blatantly inspired by King Ghidorah. And really, if you look at it this way, bro, like, you can't count Godzilla. You really can't count. If I count Godzilla, I'm counting Barney. If Godzilla's in this video, Barney's in this video, bro. And when I'm looking at the like King Ghidorah, amazing name, good aura farming and just about everything that he's in, and he's known as the like, brother. He was a natural predator of the Godzilla Okay, that's another thing that kind of bothers me. If King Ghidorah is effectively an alien, which is stated in the Godzilla movies, right? How is he the natural predator of Godzilla species? Like, how does that work? I'm gonna.
Well, he's been here for a while. Just as an option, I don't actually. Like, I'm not very familiar. Even less than anything else I said I wasn't familiar. Also, while we're on a pause, I feel like saying that someone else, whoever the fuck is that, was inspired by King Ghidorah is kinda, you know, like, bro is inspired by the fucking Hydra from Greek mythology down to his name, so like saying someone is inspired by him specifically just doesn't sit right with me. You feel what I'm like? You get what I mean here? Am I making sense?
Honestly,
I think I am making
I'm gonna
sense.
put him in goated as well. I'm gonna put him goated as well. I really do. I gotta put him there. Toothless.
Okay.
So let me just state this, bro. I think Toothless's design is really dope. I think the concept of the Night Fury is so dope that it's a dragon that is so.
It's a dragon that is a cat. That's the entire fucking concept.
undocumented because it's basically like the falcon, like the golden falcon of the dragon's world, that it's so fast that no people can ever actually dominate it, and not dominate it, document it. And the only way that they know it's coming is because it goes so fast that it literally causes a whistle in the air. To the only thing that you can do if your Night Fury is near you is say, Night Fury! And then something in the distance becomes past tense. That's so sick. That's
Okay.
such a cool design, dude. And also, Toothless is a home
Sure.
run. I'm putting Toothless in great. I gotta put Toothless in great, dude. I have to.
I mean, with that description, he kinda could have put him higher, but also, like, it's a tiny fucking thing that is literally a big cat, so, probably fair, you know?
Balerion is the mightiest dragon that has ever existed in Westeros, if you don't count Old Valeria. And I'm not even gonna remotely get into that. But when you go through the like the Targaryen line, Balerion, Balerion the Dread? No, I think I'm Bale the Dread. Balerion is such a massive.
There is a lot of dreads going on, and yeah, I'm pretty sure Balerion was the Black Dread. So, yeah.
Dragon. That you could take 15 to 16 Drogons, put them in a line, and it wouldn't be like as big as Balerion was. Vermithor, the one that the big dragon from House of the Dragon, was the second biggest dragon. Vermithor got little broed by Balerion. That's how big Balerion was. Well,
yeah, we'll cover all that, just roll with it for now.
How did Balerion go? Balerion went to old AIDS. Like, that's absurd. Imagine being such an overpowered dragon that the moment that you pass, you guys start having a civil war with the last Targaryen to ever bond with you. You know, that's a fun fact. The last Targaryen to ever bond with Balerion was, I think it was the Leper, not the Leper King, but the Targaryen, oh my goodness.
That was exactly him, yeah.
I'm blanking out on the name. It's Daemon Targaryen's brother, the son, the father of Rhaenyra that starts that.
Well, yeah, he's a leper guy. Like, what are we talking about? Hello?
Dance of the Dragons. Yeah, no. He was the last Targaryen to ever bond with Balerion. And Aegon the First and his two incest sisters were able to conquer basically the entirety of Westeros with Balerion, Vermithor, and then one other dragon. And then they absolutely smoked everybody.
Okay, well, this was fact, so I am straight up overriding this. I deleted my previous reaction bits from the video. Now, first off, he obviously mixed up Vhagar and Vermithor, which is, okay. Similar names, I suppose? No. More importantly, he said that after Balerion died, they started the Civil War, which is, right. So, first off, yes, his last rider was Viserys, who rode him once and not far, and Balerion died basically right after that. Then, I believe like 10 years after that, they had that vote when they decided that Viserys will be the next king after his grandpa who was ruling back at that time. And then, like 30 years after that, they had a civil war. So I dare say Balerion's absence didn't have much of an effect by that point, especially given that even before Viserys claimed him, Balerion was inactive for like 40 years. And also, since we're at that topic, that, like, 40 years before Viserys, his last rider flew to Old Valyria, where Balerion got properly fucked up, barely made it back, the rider died, and then Balerion was basically inactive. So that's also to the point of dying from an old age. I feel like in human terms it's like saying grandpa died at 60 from old age. And not mentioning his stage 4 cancer, you know?
On for his feats, for everything. I think you gotta put him, honestly, dude. I'm gonna put him in a great. I'm gonna put him at the top of great. Alduin
Okay, that works.
from Elder Scrolls. So let me go through Alduin really
Bro, he really kinda looks unimpressive here, huh?
quick. Alduin is essentially the devil of the dragon. So how dragons work in I have my nose is so itchy, bro. My nose is so itchy.
That's a familiar feeling.
Yeah. So he is the firstborn of Akatos. Akatos is the dragon god of time, and Akatos is, that. And then he had a child, and the first child was Alduin. And Alduin had a brother named Parthenax that isn't in this video. And
Is that right?
Alduin reigned over all the dragons, and then the dragons reigned over the Nords, and the Nords were basically worshipping dragons. And then what eventually happened is that Parthenax betrayed Alduin, and Alduin also has dragon speech. He's very intelligent, and it is said that he will eat the world. Alduin is known as the World Eater. But this is the problem that I have.
That part is right, yeah.
Alduin is just a reskinned version of every other dragon. Like, I need you to understand this, bro.
Well, he was the first, is my understanding, so technically all the other dragons are reskins of him, but I see the point.
Looking back on it, and I get it, it was technical limitations. Alduin's not... How is he gonna consume the world, though? Like, I get it, but, like, if you really think about it, Alduin isn't even that big of a dragon. And, well, how they defeated him in the first place is that Parthenax gave an Elder Scroll to the Ancient Nords, and the Ancient Nords sent him in the future to where they said that there would be a prophecy that the Dovahkiin would once again come to Skyrim, and the Dovahkiin was going to then take out Alduin, which we do.
So basically, yeah. They found a way to send him in the future and then said, well, there is some kind of prophecy, they probably made it up. Just like, it's not our problem, we did our part, fuck you. Bunch of bitches.
In Skyrim. So all that to be stated, I'm gonna be real, Alduin is iconic, but low-key, bro, Fraudwatts. Fraudwatts. I'm putting him bottom of good, honestly, bro. Alduin's on Fraudwatts, dude. I stand on that.
Could be even lower, honestly.
Bale! Curse you, Bale! So good. Dude, I remember playing that DLC for the first time and having no clue what I was taking on. And
yeah, I do remember it. Not very fondly.
To see, like, all of the slain dragons going up to this final, like, resting place. And then you see this field of red flowers. And fun fact, the red flowers are every single time that somebody, passes in battle against Bale, a flower sprouts to where they last were. So all of those red flowers are everybody else that has fallen. And Bale himself is the dragon that challenged Parthenax. And Parthenax is the, basically not the dragon god himself.
Okay, I'm pretty sure he's just rolling with the names, but yes, he's talking about Placido 6. Let's just be clear.
But he is the second in command to the actual god of all the dragons when the cataclysm occurred inside of Elden Ring, which took out the entirety of, like, the dragon's capital and all of their reign. Okay? And Bale took on Parthenax, and they essentially almost stalemated, but Parthenax was able to get slightly the better of him, and then Bale was getting hunted down by all these other dragons, and then Bale took them down and ate them. Bale is injured at the time that we are taking him on.
I'm too tired to argue, but, like, essentially, it works.
And he is using a piece of severed bone from his wing to take us out. And then he has the ability to use dragon magic.
I mean, severed bone. I'm pretty fucking sure he has, like, one intact limb. Because one wing is just a stump, the other one I think is, like, a bit bigger but still fucked, and one of the legs is completely off. The meanest fucking disabled person in history.
To make other wings to fly with. Oh, that's so dope, bro. He goes and goaded. So good. So good, dude. Parthenon.
I mean, like, to be real, the spectacle on Bale is something, so I can't even fucking argue.
So Parthenax is basically the consort. So where's is basically the consort of the dragon god, and Parthenax, when he dueled Baal, ended up.
Okay, so we are talking about Placido Sax. We are showing a picture about Parthenax because haha funny, and we can't even spell his fucking name right. I have a problem with the last part.
Started hiding inside of a tornado outside of time that was going to be until his dragon god once again returned. And Parthenax has the ability to shoot essentially a laser beam. Parcel, not time control, but he has like a good relationship with like the god that can do time control. There is a little bit of Skyrim influence when we're talking about Elden Ring, just a little bit. He had 4 heads in total, but 2 of those got ripped off by Bel the Dread, so it's kind of like a Hydra thing.
I'm pretty sure he had 5.
And then he has also Dragon Sorceries, which is also sick. But I am going to say this right now. This is definitely a slight inspiration from Akatos, Akatos and Alduin from Elder Scrolls. And obviously King Ghidorah just from Godzilla. All around, super sick battle, but I'm gonna put it, honestly, bro, I'm gonna put it in a good.
It's not a super sick battle, though. It's not even a normal sick battle. He's just flopping around like a fucking covetous demon from Dark Souls 2, and you just hit him wherever, and honestly, by that time you are usually so fucking overleveled that he doesn't do much at all. Though the fucking disappearing and then reappearing with a claw attack, that thing might fuck you up. But otherwise, he sucks.
I'm gonna put it in a top of good going into great. That is my opinion. And there you go. That is
okay. That is so bottom of good at most, but sure.
Me ranking the best and worst dragons in fiction. If you
Hey, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like. Feel free to subscribe for more. I also stream on Twitch. That and any other relevant links will be down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. See ya.